Wanna see something cool?
Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 animated movies of 2022.
What's the matter? Are you not a hugger? Too cool for a public display of affection? Yeah, me too.
For this list, we'll be looking at feature-length animated films that enthralled, innovated, and united audiences in 2022. We are including films that premiered in 2021, but had their general releases this year. What's your favorite animated movie of 2022? Let us know in the comments. Number 10, Strange World. For fans of classic adventures like Journey to the Center of the Earth and Fantastic Voyage, Disney's Strange World is a pulpy throwback with a few modern twists.
Our entire world is in grave danger. I want you to come with me on an expedition.
The Strange World itself is a hodgepodge of visual treats and lively creatures, particularly the silent yet expressive Splat. The film might not reach the heights of Disney's other recent offerings, which, coupled with underwhelming marketing, likely contributed to its poor box office.
We are clearly in uncharted territory.
Like Treasure Planet, Atlantis, or The Black Cauldron, though, this seems like one of those Disney films that'll develop a cult following. The setting invites numerous creative possibilities, and with the inclusion of the studio's first openly LGBTQ+ young character, Strange World should be remembered as a significant stepping stone in the long run.
What did she just say? Honey, what are you saying? What is she saying?
She said your son is on our ship.
Hey, Mom!
Ethan?
Oh, hey, Dad!
Number 9, The Sea Beast. Chris Williams' credits include Bolt, Moana, and Big Hero 6, the latter of which won an Oscar. Embarking into uncharted waters, Williams left Disney to direct Netflix's The Sea Beast.
But I am Captain Material.
Captain Material? Sorry. It just sounds funny.
The technical wizardry of Williams' previous films is on full display, especially the water effects. On a writing level, though, this high-sea adventure stands out from Williams' Disney days. The characters speak with the same gravitas you'd find in a great literary work like Moby Dick or Master and Commander.
You have no right to speak!
I have every right! I come from a long line of hunters that died your great death. Your kingdom was paid for with their blood!
Of course, there's still room for lighthearted exchanges between Carl Urban's Jacob and young Czarist Angel Hader's Maisie. With action worthy of comparison to How to Train Your Dragon, it's easy to see why Sea Beast has become Netflix's most viewed original animated film.
The world is wide, Jacob, and you don't know everything.
Number 8, Apollo 10.5, A Space-Age Childhood. Some argue that rotoscope isn't true animation. Tommy Pilata, the animation director of Apollo 10.5, couldn't disagree more, noting that only the character outlines in Richard Linklater's film were rotoscoped. Everything else was animated.
This meeting, this never happened. No one can know about this. Not your parents, not your brothers, not your sisters. No one.
However you define it, Apollo 10.5 isn't live action. The rotoscoping perfectly matches the film's tone, which has one foot in reality and the other in fantasy.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Roger, Tranquility, we copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of boys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot.
As young Stanley inserts himself into the Apollo 11 moon landing, we see a typical Texas childhood flash by. It was a simpler time when 3 networks ruled the airwaves, adults picked up six-packs for the road, and child safety was an afterthought. With a style reminiscent of home movies and Saturday morning cartoons, it's an exploration of a bygone boomer era.
Okay, yeah, that's a hippie.
I think I like hippies.
Number 7, My Father's Dragon. In a world where CG largely dominates the feature animation market, you can always count on the good folks at Cartoon Saloon to embrace 2D artistry.
Oh, you rescued me! It's my lucky day. I'm so lucky I could explode. Hold still so I can thank you.
The Irish studio's latest film, My Father's Dragon, possesses the aesthetic of a picture book brought to life. Actually, the film was based on Ruth Stiles Gannett's 1948 novel of the same name. The tale of a young boy who befriends an awkward dragon is a bit more kid-friendly than the studio's previous efforts like Wolfwalkers and The Breadwinner. However, there's still a level of sophistication to the writing, voice acting, and life lessons that appeal to all ages.
There is still hope.
Director Nora Toomey continues Cartoon Saloon's string of timeless storytelling, balancing simple concepts with layered lore.
But for those of you who believe that dragons are nothing but nonsense, well, it's always good to keep your ears open. Just in case.
Number 6. Wendell and Wild. Wendell and Wild is a wild film indeed. Such is to be expected when you have the stop-motion expertise of director Henry Selick and the real-world commentary of co-writer Jordan Peele.
Shocking.
Visually, this horror comedy is like The Nightmare Before Christmas with an Afro-punk twist. With a plot that involves political cover-ups, a demonic amusement park, and hair cream that raises the dead, the screenplay can feel like it's making itself up as it goes along.
Okay, now first, find Beelzebub.
What's a Beelzebub?
Find Hell Maidens for demons. Found you for us. Well, it marks your hand so we'd know.
Then what?
Then you take it to the gravesite next full moon. It'll tell you what to do.
For those tired of familiar formulas, though, Wendell and Wild is a breath of fresh air that dares to be weird purely for the sake of being weird. It's also a win for representation with one of the most positive portrayals of trans youth we've seen in American animation.
Why were you up that tower?
It's an art project. For when the snow melts. I'm Raoul.
Number 5. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Who Framed Roger Rabbit was lightning in a bottle, but Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers comes closer to recapturing the magic of that masterpiece than any film we've seen since.
I know you.
Oh no, we're cooked.
You're the Rescue Rangers.
I am huge fanboy!
This isn't just because of the seamless blending of live action and animation, the mystery angle, or the cavalcade of cartoon cameos, some of which we never expected to see in a Disney movie. Hi, Ugly Sonic.
Oh, they're laughing at me. I know that. You can't hurt my feelings if I'm in on the joke.
Are you, though?
Yes?
It's the risks Rescue Rangers takes that earn the Roger Rabbit comparison. From a corrupt grown-up Peter Pan to Flounder being tortured, Disney let the filmmakers go to some hilariously shocking places. It paid off with a meta-comedy that's clever, creative, and a love letter to animation fans everywhere. It even won an Emmy for Outstanding Television Movie.
It's really good to see you guys.
It is wonderful to see you all.
Number 4. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. DreamWorks' recent output has been hit and miss, but 2022 was a comeback of sorts.
I have 9 lives.
And how many times have you died already?
With The Bad Guys, the studio delivered a stylized heist comedy in the spirit of Steven Soderbergh. The most pleasant surprise was Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Coming out over a decade after the last film, what seemed like an unnecessary sequel turned out to be a fast-paced comedy, a poignant meditation on life, and a visual feast inspired by Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, I have got to learn how to do that.
While Puss is a delightful protagonist, every character is a scene stealer. From Florence Pugh's gritty Goldilocks to John Mulaney's big Jack Horner. Just when you thought the Shrek franchise had used up its 9 lives, this movie proves there's more laughs and heart to go around.
A guy always lands on his feet. Watch!
Number 3. Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. A peculiar title with an even more peculiar protagonist. And yet, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On is one of the most human cinematic experiences we've had all year. The story is every bit as simple as its main character. Behind the simplicity, however, is a profound story about family, grief, and perseverance. Jenny Slate will warm, melt, and lift your heart as Marcel, while Isabella Rossellini gives one of her finest performances as his grandmother.
I want him to dive in life, you know? I'm not gonna be here forever. You know what I mean?
Director Dean Fleischer Camp takes an everyday Airbnb and turns it into a world of its own. Once you've seen the world through Marcel's eye, you'll be encouraged to stop and appreciate the little things in life. There's always something right under your nose waiting to be discovered.
Because it reminds me that I'm not just one separate piece rattling around in this place, but that I'm part of a hole.
Number 2, Turning Red. Pixar gave us two very different films this year. Lightyear was an almost Kubrick-esque take on the iconic Space Ranger. Turning Red encompassed the energy, style, and off-the-wall humor of an anime.
Ready to change the world? So ready. I was born to do this. Let's burn this place to the ground!
It's one of the funniest features Pixar has ever produced, with a mix of jokes that are risque without ever getting too adult. For kids on the verge of puberty in particular, this is a great way to normalize concepts like menstruation.
It's nothing to be embarrassed about.
Mom, please!
You are now a beautiful, strong flower. Who must protect your delicate petals and clean them regularly.
For all the laughs and pop songs, there's also a meaningful mother-daughter story. In an age where many movies feel manufactured, you get the sense that Pixar let director Domichi and her crew run wild with Turning Red. The results are unique, personal, and sure to inspire future generations.
The farther you go, the prouder I'll be.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Minions: The Rise of Gru. More Minion mayhem and Michelle Yeoh.
Go take a nap, old lady. Old lady?
Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe. Into the Cornholio-verse.
More TV! I demand TV! Yeah, we want more TP. They never give us enough.
Dragon Ball Super: Superhero. A film so super that the word is in the title twice.
今、スーパーヒーローたちの世界をかけた戦いが始まる。
The Bob's Burgers Movie. We're still singing Sunny Side Up Summer. DC League of Super Pets. Hot take, better than Batman v Superman.
Are you my super doggo? Are you there?
Oh, in the tongue.
I miss my parents.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Disney's Pinocchio is in a league of its own. Guillermo del Toro's stunning stop-motion version creates another league with a haunting visual style, a bitter-sweet story, and real-world undertones.
Ah, we have found him, our star!
Although this is one of the most adult interpretations of the classic story, the film still possesses a childlike sense of wonder. It's also a movie that understands the perspective of a child.
Guide him to be good.
Like many kids, Pinocchio himself can be selfish, naive, and reckless. At his core, though, there's a genuine soul who wants to do right by his father. As Pinocchio learns the meaning of humanity, Geppetto learns the meaning of parenthood and unconditional love. Pinocchio may be a puppet. Technically, so are his co-stars. Yet every emotion we see on screen feels real.
You never know how long you have with someone until they're gone.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from Ms. Mojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.